So after the death of Randy Rhoads, the Ozzy Osbourne band needed to regroup. So they got the guitarist from the band Rough Cut, and was also in Rad at the time, named Jakey Lee. Jakey Lee is a very, very great replacement. He's not classically trained like Randy Rhoads, but he's a very, very, very talented rocking guitarist that shreds just as well in my opinion. He also got Tommy Aldridge, who was his drummer at the time, touring with him and stuff. And he was the drummer for this album, and I believe the tour for it as well. They got Don Airey to do keyboards in this album. The keyboards are extremely prevalent here too. And Bob Daisley returned for this album. Now there's a controversy in this album because all of the songs are credited solely to Ozzy Osbourne. Sharon had made a deal with Bob Daisley that she would pay him like a shit ton of money to pretty much write lyrics. And before Jakey Lee got a signable contract for his work, he was already recording all these songs and stuff and pretty much had the whole album done. And then when he finished writing the songs, he suddenly got the contract that said that he would have to sign in that Ozzy Osbourne would get all the writing credits and he would get none, and that if he refused, that they would just get some other guitarist to re-record his parts and say that he wrote them. So he pretty much had to sign the contract. Because of that, pretty much Bob Daisley and Jakey Lee don't get much money from this album. And from what Jakey Lee and Bob Daisley said, they pretty much wrote a lot of the songs together. Bob Daisley had a ton of the lyrics written, and they would work together. He would write some songs, and Jakey Lee would write most of the songs, and Bob Daisley would help him rearrange them so that they sounded very epic and very well written. And then after they had the song pretty much down, Ozzy would come in and say, this song's called Bark at the Moon, so they had to write a song about Bark at the Moon. But most people do say Ozzy doesn't do much, even in his own band, and that pretty much Bob Daisley, Jakey Lee, Randy Rhoads, Zakk Wylde, all these people did pretty much all the work. So I do agree with that, especially with this album. It is 100% not just Ozzy, there's no way. And he even admitted that the song Bark at the Moon was not written solely by him. And there was also some Canadian guy that had listened to this album and then killed some pregnant woman or something like that. And Ozzy was still dealing with the lawsuit from the whole Suicide Solution thing, so he was kind of fucked. And you start to notice on this album that Ozzy's vocals are getting a lot deeper. His voice is starting to deteriorate a little bit, and the auto-tune would need to come in handy. By the way, the tour for this album was fucking awesome. And I believe Ozzy was sober for it. I'm not sure though. And he gave a great performance pretty much every show because he was sober. His voice would always get fucked up when he was high or drunk. And they also played the legendary show at the Dortmund with Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, and the Scorpions. Awesome shit. Now let's get into the songs. We start with the awesomely legendary opening track, Bark at the Moon. I am not sure which song I like more, Bark at the Moon or Over the Mountain. They're both so heavy and so kick-ass and absolute classics. It's considered easily the best song off the album, and I do agree with that. Now in some versions it's absolutely drowned out in fucking keyboard. A lot of the parts just have the and it just drowns out the guitar notes. It's really bizarre. And they had a music video for this song, which I think was Ozzy's first music video, probably guilted into it by Sharon, and he was like as a wolf man the whole time. It was really awkward, and Ozzy hates the video apparently. But other than that, great shit. The main riff is kick-ass. It's super, super fast, and it has this incredible rhythm that blends with the lead melody perfectly, as if Bob Daisley and Jakey Lee wrote it together with this awesome melody over top. And Bob Daisley really did succeed at writing a song about Bark at the Moon, and the lyrics are so fucking cool and perfectly describe this idea of like a werewolf without making it too cheesy or something. And the guitar solo is kick-ass. It really rivals pretty much anything that Randy Rhoads has done. I mean, Randy Rhoads does have some better solos for sure, like obviously Mr. Crowley, but this is easily in like the top 5 or 3 best Ozzy solos easily. 5 out of 5, awesome song. Then we get to one of the songs I used to love, not as much anymore now, called Youre Not Different. It's very, very slow-paced and mellow. It's very dark too. There's a lot of keyboards just kind of doing the same 2 notes over and over, maybe 3 notes. I love the way Ozzy sings on here. It's very, very melodic, and it has this weird echoey type of vibe to it. And it does sound really cool with the keyboards, but it's a little too boring for this early in the album. But there's a lot of more awesome songs to get. It's almost riding the fine line between a heavier Ozzy song and a ballad Ozzy song. It's almost a ballad. I think it's about how, because Ozzy was facing a lot of controversy at this time, that he's just like everyone else, you're not different. But it has kind of like that Transylvania vibe that Mr. Crowley had. It's really, really cool, and the melodies are nice. So this song, although I think it's a bit too long, and some of the parts are questionable, it's not that progressive. There's some great riffs later on the song, the middle section, but it does feel a bit boring and lackluster, so it is still a damn good song, so I'm going to give us a 4 out of 5. Then we get to a kick-ass song, a song I've been very bipolar with. I used to not like it as much, then I loved it, then not as much, and then love it the fuck out of it right now, called Now You See It, Now You Don't. Now, fun fact is that recently, Jakey Lee's new band, Red Dragon Cartel, who got a new vocalist. They've got up to like 20 vocalists, and all of them kind of sound shitty. But they played the song Ultimate Sin from Ozzy's album The Ultimate Sin, and he accidentally sang the lyrics for Now You See It, Now You Don't. It kind of blended well, and they still somehow got away with it. It's weird. He just kept singing the lyrics to it, even though everyone else knew he fucked up and he was singing the wrong song. He kept singing the lyrics to the wrong song. He got fired after that. The lyrics to the song fucking awesome. They're obviously written by Bob Daisley. You can tell by the lyrics that this is like a song for you saying fuck you, because now you see it, now you don't. Now you see it, now you don't, Sharon Osbourne. And he says he has no clue how this song got on the album, or they went with these lyrics, because it was just so much subtlety of him saying fuck you, Ozzy Osbourne and Sharon Osbourne. The verse melodies are a bit bizarre, and it sounds a little off with the first couple notes that Ozzy does, but man oh man, it just keeps getting awesomer and awesomer as the song progresses. The melodies that Ozzy does are really great, and the low sounds he has in his voice sound perfect for this song, and then the higher notes that go into the chorus sound perfect. And I love the way the chorus progresses. They say now you see it, now you don't the first time, then they throw keyboards on top of it. This awesome guitar and keyboard harmony that's working together perfectly. And the backing vocals of the normal vocals are like progressing too, because the first time Ozzy says now you see it, now you don't with the guitar, and then you get the keyboards and the backing vocals. And I love the different way he sings it too later on in the song, like later on in the chorus as well. The melodies are insane in the song, and the fucking guitar solo is shining by Jakey Lee. Incredible song. 5 out of 5. Then we have Rock and Roll Rebel, which is a kick-ass song again. Like I said, there are some awesome songs, even after a slow, kind of boring song like Youre Not Different. But funnily enough, on some of the masters of this album, like some of the remasters and remixes and stuff, they cut out this guitar solo in the beginning. It's pretty damn cool. And this song sort of deals with the same thing and idea of the whole I'm no different than you from Youre Not Different. That he's just a rock and roll rebel, and everyone says that he worships the devil and all this shit. I love that line where it says, they say I worship the devil. I love the way Ozzy sings on this song, the guitar and vocals from this perfect harmony that's just absolutely badass. The guitar solos are ape shit throughout it as well. 5 out of 5. Then we have Center of Eternity, which also is called Forever on some pressings, and Ozzy said it was called Forever when they played it live. I'm not sure which song title I like more. They say Forever and Center of Eternity in the song, so you could call whatever you want. I call it Center of Eternity though. The song starts with this awesome like keyboard organ thing with some Gregorian chants that sounds very badass. They're humming the melody of the song, the ha 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 ha, and then they have this weird keyboard part, and the song just goes ape shit. It sounds sort of suppressed in a way, but the keyboards are very prevalent, so it's a very odd sounding song, but that's what makes it sound so cool. The keyboards are just going ape shit along with the guitars. And I love the chorus, and the middle section slash chorus is fucking stellar as well. Easily one of the best songs off the album, and one of the best Ozzy songs. It reminds me a lot of Mr. Crowley as well. 5 out of 5. Now we get to some of the weaker stuff. So Tired is the Ozzy ballad that starts to wreck Ozzy ballads. Now there's a couple good Ozzy ballads after this. Mama I'm Coming Home is but this is starting to be the beginning of the end. Now, it's not a bad song, but it's not that great at all, really. And it starts to take like a great ballady type of nice, happy, or sort of sad song that actually has emotion to it. And it starts to just make it generic and just a fucking straight up power ballad sort of thing that they would just run with after this point. And boy oh boy, does it keep getting worse and worse and worse. This song's okay, without a doubt. But it's so boring that he almost has no emotion in the chorus where he's just saying so tired, and then they have the other overlaying, so tired's over top of it. And the piano just sounds so damn cheesy, as if they're literally trying to make a famous ballad. And during the music video shoot for this, there's this part where the glass shatters in this mirror he's looking at, and one of the pieces of the mirror flew down his throat and fucked up his vocals. Like I said, it's a bit lackluster, but it's not bad, so 2.75. Then we get to Slow Down, which my friend Matt and Ralph Fiera, who you both should check out. Both their channels are fucking awesome. They both absolutely hate this song. I used to love it. Now I'm starting to kind of agree with them. It has like a really weird sort of pinch harmonic-y slide at the beginning that sounds really kick-ass. And then it starts to get really annoying. They have awesome guitar parts, you know, building up to the verse. Then the verse gets really annoying. The incredibly high vocals that Ozzy sings blends it with this high notes from the keyboard. It's very, very irritating. I love the first part of the chorus where it says, slow down, you're moving way too fast. Then the keyboards kick in and fucking ruin that. It's like you have awesome and then it just kicks you in the nuts. And then awesome and then it kicks you in the nuts. I'd probably rather listen to it though than So Tired, so I give it a 3 out of 5. It's okay. Then we get to probably the second best song off the album. This is Waiting for Darkness. It has this weird bassy muted guitar intro with the synthesizer, and then when they reach their apex, the guitar kicks in with this absolutely apeshit guitar riff that Jakey Lee wrote. I don't think they ever played the song live, and I see why. I've tried to learn this riff. Let me tell you, it's fucking hard because you have to play it super fast with all these double notes. At first I thought that was like a single thing, but it's literally, you have to hit double notes in a sequence. It's very awkward. It's usually easier to hit like triple notes. It's a very, very awkward sequence, and the song's very kick-ass. The verse is epic as hell, and this is sort of like an epic-y song, but it's not really that long. I love the way Ozzy sings on it. It's super epic, and he delivers these incredible lyrics that Bob Daisley wrote, obviously. I love the bridge where they have the keyboards and guitars working in unison, where he's singing these passionate, passionate notes, and then it stops and Ozzy says, Waiting for Darkness, and the riff kicks in again and again. The middle section's very badass. It has this awesome, sort of slow guitar solo, there's a lot of keyboard parts, and then when the guitar solo reaches critical mass, the keyboards are this awesome high note, and the guitar riff from the beginning just kicks in again. It's so fucking badass. I love the way this song leads out, where Ozzy's saying, Waiting for Darkness. 5 out of 5, incredible song as well. This album has a lot of great and some filler on there too. At first I thought it was a little more underrated before. I used to love it a lot more. Now the album's gone down a little bit for me, so 8.8 out of 10.